Hello, this is Train12345, also known as Glenn, and I'm going to do a little basics tutorial on Blender 3D. So the basics of Blender are the 3D cursor. That's where things spawn. It's not the easiest thing to maneuver because it, well, doesn't want to go where you want it to usually. So what you have to do is, the numpad is for the camera view. 1 is front, 3 is side, 5 is perspective to focal, no, not focal, to another view, let's put it that way. 7 is top, and 8 and such. All the other numbers are just for rotation. So 7 for the top view. Shift C to center the cursor. Shift A to add things. You want a camera in every scene. When you have a camera, to make it go to the view you want, press Control, Alt, and Numpad. Numpad 0, that is. You add a whatever you want, a plane, and what you can do is use Control R for loop cuts. Those are edges you can slide around, so you can make, I don't know, let's make a little door here. So you make little things that you want to, well, have. Using E to extrude. Extrude is also another word for just like bringing something in or out. Making something useful, let's put it that way. So there's a little door. Let's make another loop cut right here. And here. Along with here and here. Why? Because you're able to now go like this. Face select is changing from vertex mode to faces. Select things that you want to select. Press X or delete to delete. So delete faces, and now I have a couple windows. You select these using back to vertex mode, using Shift and middle mouse button to pan, middle mouse button alone to rotate or orbit, and holding Shift and selecting each vertex. You press W, subdivide, makes it so it divides the sides within the number of cuts you wish. Let's go with not 2, not 4, but 6. Just because then you can you can press E here and extrude these on the Y axis. So you press E, G, and then Y. No, S and then Y. And then it'll bring things in. With these, you select one vertex, then the other, press W, and then merge at center. Do them for as many as you need. Alt M, Alt M. You select these two, extrude, which is E, scale on the X axis, and then you're able to merge. Oops, you're able to merge at center. Merge at center. Go away. There we go. And then you have a window. It's a really bad window, it's a really bad house. It's not even a house. Anyways, everything about Blender is trial and error. Whether you're trying to make a golden sphere, which is not too hard. Let's see, 70. The golden sphere, which you'll go to the left side, click smooth. Now it's all smooth, yay. In the material tab, go with the ball, go to the right, and click new. Diffuse is the color. That's the basic color you want it to be. Let's say you want it to be yellow. Speck is the shininess of it, what color you want it to be. All depends on your preference. From Cooktorrent, these are the different types of shininess. Vortiso makes it so it's very shiny. Metallic. You're able to go to shading emit, make it emit light. You can go higher than 2, you just have to type in the number. You're able to add mirror, reflectiveness to it. Change the reflectivity color to whatever you want. and now it's a golden sphere. To see how the golden sphere worked out, we're going to move it up by grabbing along the blue line, which is the z-axis. Blue is z, green is y, I believe. Yeah, and then red is x. So now we're going to select the bottom of this, and then press Shift S, and then cursor to selected. That brings the spawning cursor to right where you want it to. I'm going to Shift A, add a plane, scale it out, go into the camera view using numpad 0, clicking the camera, make sure the camera is selected, you'll see an orange outline here. Press Shift F, and you can fly the camera around a bit, and then you're able to render. It won't render because there's no light. It's going to add lamp point. Add, and there we go. There is a reflective ball right there. It is not that interesting. So, the number one thing you'll want to know is the extrude tool. Extruding and loop cuts. The two most useful things you can have. You can scale it along the y-axis, scale it along the x-axis, oops, loop cut 2, scale along the x-axis. Then you can pretty much make anything you want. That's the cool thing about Blender. So you see this little thing here is now a table-like thing, you know, because it looks nothing like it. To move the camera around, again you hold Shift, middle mouse button, drag. You're able to do the middle mouse button to rotate. You're able to fool around with the settings. My favorite tool about this is, let's say you want to zoom in on that vertex but you can't because it's not rotating around it. There's a tool in the user preferences, in input, 3D view, and then it's called view selected. This one right here. So what you do is, what it does is exactly this. You press that button, which is default numpad period, and it'll bring the center view directly to where you want it to. It is probably one of the most useful things you can do. Texturing. Texturing is rather annoying, but it's not too difficult. When you have a material for an object, you're able to go to the Textures tab, which is next to it. You're able to add a new texture. These are the options. The one I ever use is either clouds or image. With image, you're able to go to colors, you're able to go to the image there, and you select open. Open, textures, and then you're able to find one. It doesn't matter which. Just find any texture you want. You're able to find them free at cgtextures.com, make an account. I'll put a link in the description. Mapping is how it is, so I'm able to change the mapping here to repeat a bit more, make it smaller grains. If you can see right, you can see that. Watch this. If you look up at the image up there, you can see the detail changes. What happens here is under mapping, you're able to change it from flat to cubed, and that'll make it so it goes all the way around. If you do flat, then it'll make glitchiness and stuff, along with you're able to do the other things. Generated to whatever you want, you know, everything's trial and error. Sure, yes, color, and nor is normal. It makes it look 3D when it isn't. It adds the graininess of it. So Shift F. I want the cursor to be right here, so I select these 4 vertices. Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift A, make a lamp. You see that? The graininess of the wood. To make things look detailed, that's all you have to do. There's nothing fancy about it. You just add the graininess to it. You see some odd glitches, but that's only if you stare at it. Nothing's flawless. That is this for the render section of this tutorial. You're able to G for grab, S for scale, R for rotate. R for rotate, input any number you wish. The number will say down here, 423, 2, doesn't matter what number you put in, it'll rotate to that degree. You'll press R and then X, and it'll only rotate against the X-axis no matter how furious you do it. RY, rotate only the Y, and RZ. You're able to use modifiers using the wrench tool, which is mirror. Mirror can be useful, not always, depends on what you're doing. Array, which is the repetition of objects. It's good for making an apple orchard or anything, which I just gave myself that idea. I think I might now. You never know. And you just fool around with everything in Blender if you can. I've been using Blender for 5 years and I can't get enough of it. I still enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial here. Render image is F12. You find yourself an amazing little box that you've made. Textures aren't that difficult to find. Like I said, link will be in the description for that. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to comment or, okay, I just dropped my phone there. Feel free to comment or message me at all. And who knows, I might even train you more than you think. I might make it so then you can help me out sometimes. Because right now I'm in the middle of making a game with, well, pretty fancy things. Where we're just making lots of random items. And we're going to be making it for a zombie game, which is going to be having coffee in it, apparently. So, yeah, that's it. Contact me if you need to, and, yeah. So, bye.